Sigma sector is not the fastest farm for quantum crystals and nano compound, and in this video I'm going to prove exactly that. I am also going to base this off a single run, so over a 3-minute period roughly, because a Sigma sector run takes about 3 minutes in total. So I'm going to run the entire run the numbers, show you the differences, calculate everything and give you all of the info that you need. So let's get right on into today's video. Just for reference, this is going to be the NS build that I'm using, triple sprint speed on the secret garden, and then this is the mod config that I am using on my NS. This is going to be my reactor with tech and crit damage onto it, and then 2 pieces of hunter and 2 pieces of invader for cooldown and for range, and then my arcade skill tree is going to be this. So with that reference out of the way, let's get right on into the actual Sigma sector gameplay. So let's start the clock there you go, and we are off. So let's get on into this. Now, I know some of you might be scratching your head and wondering, why are you including the time it takes to load into Sigma sector? Now, the reason I am including this is because if you were to run this farm, you would have to wait for this mission to start up anyways. So we are going to be sitting through the amazing waiting for about half a minute to 45 seconds. Even when it comes to restarting the mission inside of Sigma sector, it can sometimes take 20-30 seconds to reset the mission and give you another roll. So this does count as part of the time. As you can see in this instance, it's going to be about 45-ish roughly seconds. So we are including this because, you know, whenever you are going to farm this, you do have to keep in mind the load times. Now we've got Gideon here, which is not too slow of a map, and we are just going to run through this as fast as we can with an ace. Now, I did ask on my stream previously or earlier today whether you prefer using an ace or bunny. Most people said that it's bunny for Sigma sector, or it could also be an ace. So I'm going with an ace in this just because she, for this specific map at least, is better. Now, I did try semi-cheating my way towards Sigma and giving Sigma a little bit of an advantage here by rolling the map several times until I got one that I think is going to work well together. And in ace in this map definitely does work well together. So forgive me for being a little bit biased towards Sigma sector, but I just love Sigma. That's just me. But I'm still going to have to tell you that this is not going to win. I know as a fact that this is not going to win. In terms of the numbers and everything else that you can do, Sigma sector is sadly just not the fastest anymore. But you can see here, we are running through this mission at a fairly fast pace, and we are making some pretty good time, and we're already approaching the final stage of this mission with just under 2 minutes on the clock. So we are doing fairly well. So let's just quickly run up here, take care of these final few bosses, and then we are going to go into it. Now, I know some people may not like the way that I've timed this against everything, but you have to keep this stuff in mind. If you are running Sigma, the load times are something you're going to have to deal with. The bosses waiting during that phases is something you're going to have to deal with. All this sort of stuff is a part of the mission, so not including it in the final equation when it comes to farming is going to be something that I think is not worthwhile, and it would technically make this farm invalid as hell. If I was to only include the actual time taking in mission, it wouldn't really give a correct answer to everything that we need in terms of the overall farming method, because we do need to keep this sort of stuff in mind. Right, we're right near the end of our run now. Final phase on the boss. Can I get the 3 off? Let's see. Yep, there you go. Instant death. So you can see just shy of 3 minutes on the clock. So let's just end the clock over there on the 3-minute mark. And as you can see over here from the numbers, we managed to get ourselves 5,114 quantum crystals and 2,706 nano compound. So now let me do 5 runs, and then I'm going to get back to you with the numbers and then the average on all of this, because this is all going to be taking place over 1 run. So after running all of this, this is what I've come back with. I was able to get 7,000, so some more quantum crystals in the later runs, but my average is around about 6,800. As for the nano compound, it's around about the same. I managed to get a little bit less in the future runs, but my average was 2,100. Now we'll keep this in mind as we go on to the next farm. Just for reference, this is the Vesper build that I'm going to be using, a triple sprint speed secret garden. This is the build I'm using. This is the reactor, cooldown and chill, slayer set, and then I'll show my tree. But this farm takes place inside of the Vespers, and we're going to be taking advantage of the void fusion reactor. So let's go. So as you can see with this in the rewards, every time you complete it, you get 750 quantum crystals. So let's give this a shot. We are going to run this for 3 minutes straight as well. Now with Vesper, this is incredibly simple. You just use your fourth ability for the hurricane, and then you just wait, and then it just dies. So you can see we got one run done in about 10 to 15 seconds, meaning you can get about 4 of these done in a minute, give or take, and each run is 750 quantum crystals. So that is going to be 3,000 in 1 minute. That is your entire Sigma Sector bonus in one run, plus another bonus out of just another additional 3,000. So that's another 3,000. And if your builds or your runs go to plan, you end up getting even more. Now, this does not include all the drops that you get out of this as well, because he will drop reactors, he will drop external components, he will drop all these other sort of things. So I'm gonna take advantage of this, and in this instance I'm not including all of the drops that you get out of this boss alone, because that would be criminally unfair to Sigma Sector. But I will give you a quick rundown on average what you would get, so I am gonna of course give you the info on that as well. But currently you can see we are running this, we are 1 minute 15 seconds in, and consistently killing this boss within 10 to 15 seconds. This is pretty much as good as it's going to get. You can just absolutely rinse this, and this is significantly lower effort compared to Sigma Sector as well. I know TFD gamers are looking for the laziest ways to farm, so this is your answer right over here. So all we essentially need to do is just keep an eye on how many balls we have done by this 3 minute mark, or by that I mean how many of these balls are still left here, because that will give you the answer to the amount of quantum crystals that you've gotten. On top of that, this will not include, like I said, the amount that you've gotten from the drops that this boss has been giving you. So I am going to also take into account the amount of the drops that I've gotten from the boss in all of the future runs, but this is just an example. So when I do put my chart of my beautiful numbers up, I am going to include that. This is just giving you the example of how it runs. So you can see here 2 minutes 20 seconds so far. We're almost done with our run, and you can just see how crazy efficient this is. Literally every 10 to 15 seconds a brand new run has started, and like I said, because this is a fusion reactor, there is no load time. You don't need to worry about anything apart from just one-shotting everything. Like I said, low effort gameplay does make for the best gameplay, because we're balling like that. Okay, so let's have a look at this. We're coming up to the end. I think we might be able to squeeze one more run in, maybe. Let's have a look. Okay, nope, never mind. I messed up with my timing, so this is what I get. So this is the final run then. There you go. That's just shy of 3 minutes. So there you go. So in them 3 minutes, we got 12 of the orbs done. 750 times 12 equals 9,000 quantum crystals. So you would get 9,000 if this was the limit of the farm. However, it is not. Let me show you what I didn't include in the actual gameplay here, and let me show you what happens when you do include it. So now let's throw into the equation everything you get out of all of the drops from these all individual drops that you get. So once we stack up all the reactors we got out of here, and all of the external components, and all of the weapons that we got out of here, you can see we have gained an additional 2,400 quantum crystals and 3,200 nano compound. So there you freaking go. We've hit bigger numbers, and once we add this on, that brings our total up to 11,401 and 3,264 nano compound and quantum crystals in a singular run. So let's see what happens when we run this 5 times back to back, and then I'm going to scale everything up and give you the results after 1 hour. But before we do that, let's quickly have a look at the numbers. On average from Sigma Sector, I've been getting 6,800 quantum crystals per 3 minutes and 2,100 nano compounds per minute. In terms of the Vesper Void Fusion Reactor, I've been getting 12,520 per 3 minutes, and then 3,300 on the nano compound. On average, you can see that Sigma Sector is lacking compared to the Vesper Fusion Reactor. The Vesper Fusion Reactor is literally almost twice as fast as Sigma Sector is, specifically for nano Specifically for quantum crystals. For nano compounds, it's a little bit more RNG based, but you can see even still you are getting about 1,000 more average per every single 3-minute run. Now, I do know about the chance of you getting 300k quantum crystals from Sigma Sector. The only reason I'm not including that right now is because it's too RNG based, it's not consistent, and this is based off consistency, and these are based off the runs that I did manage to get. So, this is the info I've gotten. And now, as for taking it up to around about an hour on each, you will see that you will get around about 136,000 quantum crystals per hour in Sigma Sector and 42,000 on the nano compound. However, with the quantum crystal farm in Vesper, you will get about 250,000 in an hour, and then 67,000 on the nano compound. Now overall, the Vesper farm is a no-brainer. If you want to upgrade your reactors, do the Vesper farm. However, I do have to acknowledge this specifically because this is a very, very big thing. It's the fact that Sigma Sector does also give you energy cores. Now overall, if you need to upgrade external components as well, run Sigma Sector, because that is literally the fastest farm for energy cores in this game. So that's something I definitely did want to acknowledge. So yeah, that is everything you need to know. Specifically for the Void Fusion Reactor farm, specifically for quantum crystals and nano compound, run the Vesper's farm. If you also really badly need the energy cores, go with the Sigma Sector farm. You'll still get a good amount from Sigma Sector, but if you are trying to optimize to the absolute peak, Vesper is where it's at. But yeah, that's basically been this video, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please do smash that like button, and if there's anything else you want to see, please do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to turn it into a video for you. But yeah, that's been this video. Smash that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!